Sick. I don't know what's going on today, but it's been a mess. I forgot my second microphone, so I'm actually on this microphone looking like Whitaker. So. It's been a minute. I didn't see you. When was the last time I saw you?
I think it's been a few months. Feels like over a year, right?
Bro, always a pleasure seeing you.
We actually passed through some of the most difficult period of last year.
Yeah.
I think things are looking good now, alhamdulillah. Today we've got three watches here to just review very quickly and talk a little bit about
three crazy hitter watches, Khalid. I mean, that's the thing I love about you, man. You're always humble.
I mean, if you want to really talk about rare pieces, I wouldn't say these pieces are rare at all. They're in production for years. They stay in production for years, and then they suddenly go, well, it's discontinued, and now it becomes rare. Well, yeah. You've got thousands of these pieces online. Rare is limited editions like 500 pieces only, 300 pieces only, and those sort of pieces that you cannot find again and are not going to be made again. Those are actually rare pieces.
Literally done the Holy Trinity here. We've got the Holy Trinity on this table, Khalid. So maybe we start with this one.
This one, to be honest, is one of my favorite watches in my collection. I actually had the choice. I was thinking about it. Should I go for the blue dial or the black dial?
Right.
But I really like the dual time with the red markings on the GMT hand and on the AM PM hand, which appealed to me quite a bit. I think out of the three, from the blue and the white and the black is the best.
Sure.
The blue, I think, is the least favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I like the white dial as the second watch. Black sometimes makes certain watches look a little bit smaller.
Right.
And if you actually have a white dial, you'll probably see it as a little bit more bigger.
Right.
But black usually makes watches look a bit more slimmer.
Okay.
And on the hand, you would actually not be able to tell that it's actually 41. But if you put it next to a blue or a white dial,
okay,
you'd be like, okay, that's huge. But why is the black one looking smaller? I would say it's a continuation of the iconic 222. Back in the 70s, AP took a stance with its 5402, and then Patek took a stance with its 3700.
Yeah.
And then you had Vacheron also produce a 222, which basically is if you like, the grandfather of this particular piece that I have.
Yeah.
If you look at rarity now, I come back to the point of rarity. Actually, the Vacheron Constantin, or if you like, the Vacheron Constantin 222, is the rarest of the three. They didn't make a lot of pieces from the steel variation that they had. Right. They did make a few on the gold, but the 222 was the rarest of the three, and there's a misconception that goes about that people thought that the 222 was also made by or designed by Gerald Genta. Well, that's not true. The 222 was not designed by Gerald Genta. It was actually introduced or designed by a gentleman called George Heisek, or some people refer to him as Heisek. They now very recently have a boutique of Heisek here in Dubai Mall that you could actually go and see if you like.
Before even jumping into the Patek with the 15202, when we met and we talked about this 15202, I mean, I don't know if you know, Khalid, but just to kind of give you an idea, the aftermarket was going for something like 140,000 dirhams.
140? 140 is around $34,000.
Do you have any idea what is it on right now?
Well, I don't keep track of the market prices, but I would think that with this news of discontinuation,
right,
the price is probably doubled or tripled, if I'm not mistaken.
You're talking in the 70 range, 70 US. That's what it is today, and it's still climbing. It's still going up.
But these watches are always available online on the grey market. As we speak, you'll probably see so many of them online, on online platforms. What does that say to you? I find rarity to be in the actual essence of the word. I don't find these watches rare. When you make thousands of such watches, they're not rare. So that's my opinion. Now again, I come back to 1522. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was not at this price point. Just the moment they announced that it's going to be discontinued, you see the prices go up. It happened. The same thing happened with the 5980. The same thing happened with the 5711. As a matter of perspective, just to bringing back to what you were saying, 15500, 15400, 15202s, the Pateks, all of them, as we've said, for me, they are worth their retail price. I don't see it being worth the market price. If that was the case, then the retailers are going to be charging you as much as the grey market is charging you. If they really felt that it's worth that much, that price should have been put on retail and not the grey market. I come from the school of thought, after learning hardly, anything is worth its retail price. It's not worth its premiums that are actually being paid. Some watches you really want to get, and that's the itch that you get when you see, and you can't get something, and it's human nature. Something that you want is something that you chase after. So there are some pieces that you are willing to pay premium for, and then there are some pieces that you're not willing to pay premium for. 1522 is a very fragile watch. I myself don't wear it much. I wear it only on occasions.
Is it fair to say we saved the best for last? There's a special AQUANAUT that I saw on that roll, but I want to give you the liberty to walk us through it.
Yeah, so it has a combination of my favorite colors. I like orange and I like black. So here you've got a combination of orange and black. This is, although in comparison to the other AQUANAUTs, it wears a bit bigger, and although it looks like it's thicker, it's quite slim. It's not that thick. Some people think that it's very, very thick as a watch. You know, I wear it. If I'm wearing a suit, I can wear it under a suit. Casual or formal, I can pull it off. Though the orange is a bit sporty, and you can't wear it with everything, but generally, if you'd like to mix and match, you could. Get asked a lot, why are in-house chronographs so expensive when it's actually made by certain brands? The reason being is that it's not easy to make chronographs that actually are accurate, you know, and that is the reason why initially you had Rolex also outsource its movements from Zenith and so on. Some of the earlier versions of the chronographs were Valjoux and Lemania movements, which also till date you get in certain pieces, like Vacheron as an example, has an in-house chronograph which has a Lemania base, which is also an example of why these chronographs are so complicated to make. To be honest, if you were to tell me what's my way of collecting, I would say that you need to have at least one piece of the Trinity, regardless of what it is. If it's a Calatrava or it's an AQUANAUT, or you've got one of the APs. I personally like vintage watches. For me, the feeling that you have with the AP, believe it or not, I have with Vacheron. I feel the Overseas is the most versatile watch. You can change it, you know, in seconds. I like the way they put the quick change system, which allows you to put on a steel bracelet or a leather or a rubber.